What is going on, everybody? The shift is here, and I'm going to just show it right now.
Oh, you're going to show it off. You're going to show it off.
Potentially, not potentially, we will eventually. Me and Earnshaw currently have shift shirts. It's got to start somewhere. It's got to start somewhere. We've got the shirts. You can't see it? Can you see it now?
Yeah, move it up more. Move it up. There you go. There you go. Oh, look at
that. Yeah, I can't see it right now. But we have black shift shirts, baby. This better? Look at that.
That's beautiful. There you go. Now you can see the whole thing.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
You know, I teased the potential Philadelphia Eagles fans with the Kelly Green. If you follow us on Instagram, by the way, you should be. It's at the shift_media. It's right there. You see it. You see it. You see it. Get to it. All right. So a couple of weeks ago, Nick, you might remember, I posted on IG saying, look, we got some Kelly Green shift shirts for the Eagles fans. And hey, that'll probably come back for like St. Patrick's Day. But we got work to do. We got work to do right now. Okay. We're gonna churn these out. We're gonna hustle. So we're gonna do. We're gonna talk after the show. That's actually one of those things I also wanted to talk to you about. But we had to catch up before the show, as us nerds have nothing to do here on our Friday night. Just a little before 7 o'clock. Nothing. You know, I don't have a car right now, so I don't want to get too much into that. But I'm gonna have to buy a new car. My car decided to stall out on the highway yesterday. I don't have a car. All right. But shout out to Houses Automotive.
Okay. You're okay, and that's all that matters.
Shout out to Houses Automotive.
Okay.
Help me out. It needs a new transmission. It's supposed to cost a lot of money. And I'm saying, screw it. I'm just going to buy a new car.
Get a new one. Just get a new one.
But Drip Bayless on the other side, he's got to chill. I know he's going into retirement right now. He's Mr. Drip Bayless. Do we want to bring it up on air?
No, absolutely not.
If any lucky ladies out there, Mr. Earnshaw, he's single and he's ready to mingle. He is not retired. He is a free agent. He is a free agent. His face is red right now. He is uncomfortable.
No, it's not.
It's because he's nervous for you out there. That's what it is. He's nervous for you, Mr. Drip Bayless.
Yes, I was Drip Bayless. You're not getting the reference. I was Drip Bayless for Halloween, okay? I was Drip Bayless.
Let's pull up the picture.
It was the scariest thing you could be. Scariest thing you could be.
It was a fire costume. Let's see. Oh,
it was good.
You took it down. You took it. Did you take it down?
No.
Boo.
Well, I'm on a social media cleanse right now, Francisco.
I know, but you deleted it? It was such a good picture.
I didn't delete anything.
Oh, well, I don't see Drip Bayless on Instagram. Did you not post it?
I didn't post it. I put it on. I might have put it on my story. I didn't.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. But maybe you texted it to me. Hold up, maybe you did. Maybe you texted me. I have a feeling you
probably did. I definitely did.
Let's see if I can.
I gotta.
There it is. There he is.
Yeah, there it is.
There he
Drip
is.
Bayless in the flesh. That was a scary costume because he's a Cowboys fan. I'm an Eagles fan.
Yeah, see?
That was the whole
Randy
point.
Johnson. That's worse than Randy Johnson. That's worse. You were worse.
It's not worse. It was
You're
for
a
Halloween
fan.
costume.
I don't care what it was for.
How have we spent almost 5 minutes discussing this? We have so much to get to.
I know we do, but we got we haven't talked to each other in about 8 days since last episode. We got to catch up.
You're saying I'm single. I'm Drip Bayless.
We got to let it all loose. We got to let it all loose, bro.
I'm tightened up now.
Anyway, if you're interested, let us know. No, seriously, let us know on the social media, like on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Let us know if you're interested in buying apparel potentially near future. And let us know in the comments on YouTube. These are what the shirts look like for now. We not eventually, but like sooner than later, we'll get different colors made.
Variations.
Because
different variations.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a gazillion. Shout out to customink.com, by the way. That's where we got these made. They did a really good job. They look like I think they're Hanes. They're Hanes. This is Nick's shirt I'm holding right here. I'm waiting for him to come get this.
Yeah, he's got. He hasn't even given it to me yet. I forgot.
Pause. Number one. Pause. Number one. Yeah, the Drip Bayless is head somewhere else. Pause. And number two, well, once we hang out again, I'll come bring it out to you.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
great.
I already wore mine.
We'll wear them in sync.
I already wore mine too
for the show.
Right? No, we do. We do.
It's already gone through the washer.
You know what? Actually, before we get to the intro here, you know what I'm wearing right now, and it's probably the last of a dying breed. It's under my hoodie here. I'm wearing an Ohtani jersey. Angels.
It's fine.
No. I don't even mean that to get heckled or anything. I mean that as like this is only gonna last probably next couple of months, maybe.
Yeah.
I kind of got to get used to it.
I mean, that's true. That's true. But it's fine. I don't have a problem with it today because, we're into the off season. It's the middle of November, hot stove. It's not after losing in NLCS to that team. That's right. That's where you're.
Dude, why do you have to bring that up again, man? We're talking about the Ohtani. He's going to go to the.
I'm just saying. We're getting loose here to start the show. Getting loose to start the show today, Francisco. I mean, hey, I know you brought up wearing another team shirt. That's fine. I'm, whatever.
So let's start the show, shall we? 7 minutes in.
Let's go. Can we get it started? God.
Let's do it. So
I'm starving here.
I'm sorry. I thought you ate dinner. I'm
talking about the meat, but right. Of the show.
Yeah, I figured you did. But yeah, you be lying sometimes, bro. You're like Kelly Oubre. Anyway. Woo! Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Wow.
So Nick, the awards were given out within the last couple of days, and no surprise at all. Ronald Acuna Jr., National League MVP. Shohei Ohtani, of course, American League MVP. Garrett Cole, American League Cy Young. Blake Snell, National League Cy Young. Corbin Carroll, National League Rookie of the Year. American League Rookie of the Year, Gunnar Henderson. Managers of the Year, Skip Schumacher, very deserving. I did not pick him, but I thought he was very deserving for National League. American League, it was Brandon Hyde from the Orioles. And again, it's a regular season award, remember, and I thought he definitely deserved it. You could probably make a case for Bochy, but look, if it included the postseason, obviously the person that wins the World Series is going to win every single time for the most part. So albeit regular season award. So Nick, I'm going to start here, and I'm going to do one takeaway from the awards in general, and then I'll give mine, you give yours. I don't know if this is going to sit well with you or the audience. This is just how I see this because this conversation's come up within the last year or so as Ohtani is just having another insane season, something we've never seen done before. 2021 was the first time he did it when he won the MVP. Probably wins it last year if it wasn't for Aaron Judge hitting 60 plus home runs, setting the American League record, and just having an incredible season all around. I think if Ohtani, obviously he wouldn't do this next year because he's not going to pitch. If the year after, and he's healthy for 4 or 5 years after that in his prime, I think it's going to make whatever league he's in, it's going to make the MVP race boring as hell. And I love what Shohei Ohtani does as a baseball player. I just think it's going to make it boring. It's going to be like, all right, well, the MVP race is over. We know it's going to go to Ohtani every year. Every single year it's going to be Ohtani. It's like, well, now we're going to have the Ohtani rule. I think it's going to be boring as heck, man. I think it's going to be, I love Shohei Ohtani. I love what he brings to the table, but what he's able to do from one side, pitching aspect, it doesn't, throws 100, gives you a good amount of innings, an incredible ERA, is an incredible pitcher, and then he does his thing where he hits 40 plus home runs, slugs, whatever. He doesn't even need to do that to win MVP, by the way. He could do 30 to 35 home runs, a really good OPS, and have an ERA somewhere between 3.5 and 4, and to give you 25 to 30 starts, and I think he'd still be a lock for MVP. I think it's going to make the MVP race just the conversation. It's going to be like by midseason, it's like, Ohtani's got the MVP wrapped up. It might have been like that for Barry Bonds back in the day. Remember in the early 2000s where he was just, running through, the 01 to like 04. I think he won 4 MVPs in a row, something like that. And I don't remember. Look, I was younger. I know you were probably, I don't know if you were even old enough to like remember that, like time of with Barry Bonds, but I know you know about it. But that time with Bonds, like you knew Bonds was going to win MVP every season. But this is different though, because Ohtani is doing it at the plate and as a pitcher, both incredible at both. I just think it's going to make it boring, and obviously next year it'll be different because he's going to, hey, maybe he'll win it as a hitter just next year. Who knows? But I think for potentially, if he's healthy for 5 to 6 years, I don't know if the possibility of that, because I mean, we saw him get hurt this year and we've seen him get hurt in the past. But Nick, for years to come, I'm just saying until like 2030, it could make it boring if he's healthy. That was my main takeaway.
Yeah, I listen, it's a fair point. It's fair because the guy just does everything so well, literally everything so well. And we know it's like, all right, well, if he has a great year, I mean, you could just hand it to him every single year, right? And it doesn't matter if he goes to the National League, he goes to the American League. I think there'll be a little bit of a fight, but with Acuna now, and you have other players, Mookie Betts could be maybe on the same team, fight for an MVP in the future. Who knows if he goes to the other LA team? But I think that's a fair takeaway. For me, taken away from this year's awards, and I love the young guns and Gunnar Henderson. And I'm even gonna praise your guy Corbin Carroll, man. I think the game is heading in the right direction. That's the takeaway I had from this, because you have Corbin Carroll, who literally could have probably been an MVP conversation the way he played this year. That's how good he was. And I think in the years coming, in the future, you're going to see Corbin Carroll in that MVP conversation. Maybe against Ohtani. Maybe he might get.
I don't know. He might not be able.
You know what I mean? He might not get over the hump from Ohtani, but who knows? That's how good Corbin Carroll is. And Gunnar Henderson had an incredible year. Slow start with the Orioles, but they also had their manager win Manager of the Year. Like, the Orioles are in a great spot. They have a lot of young players. And I think this crop that's coming up now, the Ellie De La Cruzes, the Corbin Carrolls, the Gunnar Hendersons, the Adley Rutschmans, the Bryson Stotts, all these young players that we're able to see now, I think the game's heading in the right direction. Anthony Volpe had a tough year. Another kid I think still going to be fine with the Yankees at some point. You got to give these guys time to grow. But, man, what I took away from the guys who won the awards this year is that there are some young studs ready to blossom. And we're going to see them in the other categories really soon, I think, rather than later. Like, they're in the rookie conversation right now, but it's going to be that different conversation, that different level very soon. You see Adley Rutschman was in the home run derby last year. Like, you're seeing these young guys perform on these big stages, and I think that is huge. And they're talented. They're talented, to say the least. So I think this next crop that you're going to see of the new generation in a great spot, because the two guys who won it this year, fantastic years by both Gunnar and Corbin. Corbin got to a World Series this year. So, I mean, give him props. Gunnar in the playoffs. So both these guys got to the biggest stage of the year, which is the postseason. Corbin went all the way to the top, nearly won the whole thing. Got to give these guys credit. For me, is that the game is in a great place with the young crop of players coming up. That's where I'm at.
Could you do me a favor? Like, could you say again who won the National League Rookie of the Year award, and what did?
Can you? That was enough. All right, that was enough.
You know what's funny? I actually think Ellie De La Cruz got a vote somewhere.
I'm sure he did. He didn't deserve it, but
yeah. Let's revisit real quick. Let's revisit Ellie De La Cruz's numbers from this year. I'm looking at right now. Baseball Reference.
The bounce back is coming. All right. I get it. I get it. It was a bad prediction. It was a bad prediction. Okay.
All right. 13 home runs in 98 games is good. I like that. 35 stolen bases. That's pretty good. Caught stealing 8 times though. OPS of 89, OPS plus of 89, not good. OPS 710, not good. On base percentage of 300, not doing it. 7 triples is a lot for 98 games. It's a lot.
We're gonna stay. We're still standing, Ellie. He had a rough end of the year. He started off strong, but it's how you finish. And he didn't finish as well as I've liked him to, and other people in the Ellie fan club.
He finished 7th in Rookie of the Year voting. Good for him. Good. Did he? Yeah, he tied for 7th with Patrick Bailey and Yuri Perez from Miami. Yeah, it was Corbin, Senga. Maybe in another year probably wins it, but Corbin had a very, very good year.
Another couple players that excite me for where the game's going.
Yeah, no, there's some good Senga, Carroll. Matt McClain was there. He finished 5th, but of course, unfortunately, he got hurt. Yuri Perez, like we named. All right. So let's look at Ellie's projections for next year according to Baseball Reference.
This is not on what I thought we were talking about.
Sometimes you got to
on the layout.
Let's see.
Not on the layout.
All right, projections. 414 plate appearances, 14 home runs, 5 triples, 28 stolen bases, a 252 average, 321 on base, 758 OPS. Not gonna do it. I don't know, bro. You gotta get Baseball Reference. I think, man. You gotta talk to them.
What do I need to talk to them for? I get it.
About the projections.
What for next year?
Projections for next year.
I'm not worried about it. Okay.
I think you are.
I'm not worried about it.
You look nervous.
I love that they're doubting him already. Just doubt. Keep screaming about the doubt. Have him have the underdog story for next year. He's going to come back. He's going to bat 280. He's going to have a bounce back season. He's going to be more consistent throughout the year. And that's what we're going to do over here in the Ellie De La Cruz fan club.
And, and last time you were optimistic earlier this year. We're
still going to be optimistic.
It made him worse.
We're still going to be optimistic next year. I don't.
Why would you want to make it worse again? Doubt him.
I'm not doubting him. I have full
I don't doubt him.
Belief in Ellie. Okay,
I'm want to see you and Baseball Reference go at it. That's what I want to see. I'm on your side.
They can do whatever they want.
I'm like Nationwide, bro. I'm on your side.
They can do whatever they want. They can predict whatever they want. It doesn't mean anything to me. I know in my heart, and Ellie knows in his heart, that he's going to have a bounce back year. I have full confidence in the guy because he's a confident player. He's going to bounce back. He's not someone who's going to slack and not work hard. I have full confidence in him next year. And the Reds nearly made the playoffs this year. So listen, I'm all in on Ellie again next year. No doubt over here. No doubt. No doubt in my mind. He slid off after that roaring hot start. He slid off. He's got to be more consistent. I'm with you there. But Corbin won the Rookie of the Year. So
okay, I know you were hungry. Let's introduce it. Potatoes, the meat. Here we go, baby. Here we go. We got a couple of topics for your dinner services. Oakland. The Athletics are officially moving to Las Vegas for the 2028 season, correct?
Yes.
That's true?
28.
So they're still, let me get this right, because I was reading up on it. They're still going to, maybe you want to explain it better than me. Maybe I haven't done, I was reading the ESPN article earlier. So what officially is happening, Nick? Like what's the outlook?
So the Las Vegas Stadium will be ready in 2028. That's when they will go essentially to their new stadium, new ballpark in Las Vegas. However, after next season, the 2024 season, the lease at the Oakland Coliseum is up. So where does that leave them? Well, they can either extend the lease. Rob Manfred has hinted at maybe extending the lease. It's an option. The city owns half of the stadium. The Athletics own the other half, according to ESPN. I don't know, that could get murky because they're leaving and people don't want them. I don't know. That could get murky. There's probably probably a little bit of bad blood there, as Taylor Swift would say. Got my Taylor Swift reference in today. So there's a possibility they could play in San Francisco. They could play in their AAA park for the 25, 26, and 27 seasons. You could see them do a number of different things. They're all possibilities, but the lease ends in 24 at the Coliseum. There is no deal in place, no framework for a deal in place for them to be there beyond that. So the A's are moving and don't have a stadium ready for 4 years. That's Oakland A's baseball for you, man. I don't know what to tell you. John Fisher, great job. Great job. You're leaving when you're not even ready yet. You're not even ready to leave yet. And you're going to be doing this. So what a mess. Just what a mess in Oakland. Mismanaged, poorly executed. I feel bad for the fans there. I'm all about expansion and you know, they need to get out of the Coliseum. But, man, the way they've gone about it, I don't care if you're for them leaving or for them staying in Oakland. It's been a joke. It's the MLB and John Fisher, the owner of the Athletics. It's been an entire embarrassment all season long. The way they've kept the Coliseum, the way they're leaving, it's a mess and it's a joke. You're going to play in a AAA park for how long? Really? Or you're going to share San Francisco or something? Because I don't know how they're going to get this deal done if they want to try and extend the lease. It's not going to happen. I highly doubt that happens. They're going to be playing somewhere else. It's just, I feel bad for A's fans. I feel really bad for A's fans with how this was all handled. It's a joke the way they've handled it. And now, why would you want to go? And if you're a player, they're killing their own franchise. If you're a player, why would you want to go and play for a team that's playing in a AAA park or doesn't have a home for 3 years? A total nightmare. They are a total nightmare, and Major League Baseball has a lot to do with it, and John Fisher certainly has a lot to do with it. That's all I'm saying on the A's.
The mic drop, huh?
Done. Okay. Next. What's on the slate? Go ahead.
Nah, I mean, honestly, like, I'm really echoing what you said, because that was my biggest takeaway was when you mentioned the stadium thing, for sure, when I was reading about that, and it's dumb. It's ridiculous. The fact that there's not really a coordinated plan here, they haven't really gone about this professionally, I think is just kind of embarrassing. It's embarrassing for Major League Baseball. It's embarrassing for Rob Manfred. It's embarrassing for Oakland A's fans overall. It's embarrassing, just for baseball in general, but especially the brand of the Athletics. I think it's very embarrassing overall. And I definitely, my biggest takeaway too was I feel bad for Oakland fans that they have to deal with an owner like John Fisher, and they've had to deal with, I don't know how long has John Fisher been there? I don't know, but he's been there for a long time. I think 2005, I believe. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Oh, might have been before that. I think because like 2001 before that. I'll double check.
Was he the Moneyball owner?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, well then, yeah. It's just maybe if they had an owner who wanted to spend money, maybe if they had a smart owner, maybe they would have won a World Series by now, because they've done it on such low budgets, and that's kind of been their MO, and it's kind of been who they are in general. But it's very. I do feel for Oakland fans. I do think it might be the right thing for them to move to Vegas, potentially. Yeah, probably. But it's just the way, like you said, the way this is unraveled is that was my biggest take. That I just feel bad for. feel bad for Oakland fans, man. Like, if I had to deal with this as a Phillies fan, imagine Philadelphia fans having to deal with this. I don't know what would happen. I don't know. We're already bitching about the Wells Fargo, or the Sixers' new arena. I know we've been bitching about it. So imagine if something like this happened in Philadelphia. So that's
05.
Okay, 05. So it was 05. All right, but either way, it's just not ideal for Oakland fans. I just feel really bad for them, man. That's my biggest takeaway from all this.
Yeah, how could you not feel bad for them? It's awful, man. Imagine losing your hometown team, grew up rooting for years and years, and this is how you get treated. They let the stadium go be a dump, and they don't spend any money. They trade all their good players, and then they leave. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous. Feel bad. I feel bad for the fans because they do have passionate fans there for sure. I know the attendance didn't reflect that, but when you're putting the product out that they are, and you have facilities how they are, why would you want to go? You know what I mean? Like, you can watch from your house or not watch at all when the product's that bad. So, yeah, I feel bad for the A's fans that this was running the ground pretty much seems like on purpose. So,
right.
Yeah,
right.
It is what it is. They're going to move in 28. It's official. All the owners voted on it. They're going. They have. I mean, at this point, they kind of have to with how everything played out. I mean, it's ridiculous how it played out. But yeah, Oakland will be in Las Vegas, or the A's will be in Las Vegas in 28. But after this year, who knows where they're going to be playing? That's the real question, because that's 28's a ways away before that stadium opens. They think that stadium's going to open. So the fact they're not leased through 28 with the Coliseum, that's questionable, man. The fact they're going to be playing all over the place. I mean, we saw during COVID, Toronto kind of moved to Buffalo and playing different spots, but that was for, extraordinary circumstances. The A's have no excuse. The A's have no excuse to be doing this. So,
yep, totally agree. All right. Are we going trout fishing, Nick? I hate to use this term.
Yeah.
Going trout fishing. Mm-hmm. Gotta bring this up, especially now that there's the ESPN.com story this morning, or maybe it was yesterday. When it doesn't matter. It was this morning. This morning. Yeah, it was this morning. Okay.
November 17th.
An article that came out this morning, basically saying why Mike Trout to the Philadelphia Phillies would make sense. Mike Trout, if he were to ever go back to the Phillies, that would be his hometown team that he's grown up for. Noted Eagles fan. He's spotted at the link pretty much almost every game. It kind of gets annoying, not going to lie, a little bit. But Mike Trout, he is a Philadelphia guy. He grew up Millville, New Jersey, with the South Jersey, that contingent of Jersey people, as you know, Nick Earnshaw, that most of you guys are Philadelphia fans over there, Philadelphia sports fans. So what? No? Am I wrong?
Over here in South Jersey.
Over there. Yeah, over there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
think about that next time you want to use a beach. Think about that next time you want to use a beach coming over the bridge. All right.
That wasn't the meeting, was it?
A shot. It was a shot. It was a little. It's a little shot at us South Jerseyans. It
was not a shot. That's an over there. I didn't. Why you thought they'll stay over there? No, that's not what I meant. You clown. There. Anyway, that's a shot. You clown. You're a clown. That's a shot. Do it that way you want. Anyway.
All South Jerseyans are clowns now. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're all clowns. Mike Trout. Freaking who else? Who else is South Jersey? I don't know. You're all Pennywises. Anyway, as I was saying, so there was an article, like I said, saying that Mike Trout to the Phillies would make sense. I don't know, Nick. I think it makes sense for the Angels. I don't think it makes sense for the Phillies. Let me tell you why. For the Angels, it makes sense. Mike Trout consistently hurt over the last 4 years. Cannot stay healthy. Cannot. Okay? And then he has the injury this year where a couple injuries this year, to my point, where I believe it was his hamate bone somewhere here, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it was that injury or what it was, but there was that report. Do you remember, the last couple of months last season that it potentially could be career ending? And it turns out that it wasn't. But Mike Trout, it just seems as he's getting older now, he cannot stay healthy. For LA, I think it would make sense to ship him off for the right price. Because the Angels also don't have a great farm system. If you're trading Trout, you're trading him for maybe a couple of prospects, maybe a Johan Rojas over there. I don't know who else it would be, but those are names that have come up, like Johan Rojas, maybe one of the younger pitchers, and Mick Gable, Griff McGarry, Andrew Painter. Painter was the top pitching prospect, unfortunately, before he got Tommy John surgery earlier last season. Or actually, no, he got it like later in the season. Should have got it earlier in the season, but he got it later in the season. I think it would make sense for the Angels, number one, Trout can't stay healthy. I don't think it's worth it to keep him anymore. And number two, build up your farm system, build up your younger players. They're kind of doing that to a certain extent. They have Moniak there. They have Neto. They have, I'm trying to think who else they have, but there's a couple other young pieces they have, I believe. And it would make sense from the Angels standpoint. Phillies side, though, man, it doesn't. For those reasons I kind of laid out for the Angels. Why would you want to trade for Mike Trout, take on that contract when the guy can't stay healthy? And I'm pretty sure I do not wish this upon anybody to get hurt or anything, but I don't trust Mike Trout to play more than 110 to 120 games in a season right now. Number one. Number two, the Phillies have had trouble developing a farm system. They've had trouble, with Scott Kingery, with Spencer Howard in the past. They have not been able to develop a farm system. They are doing the right things right now with Preston Mattingly in the scouting department. I think they hired somebody else from the Rays. I forget what his or her name was in that scouting department. Anytime you hire anybody from the Rays, it's a good idea. Okay. Johan Rojas, I know he batted really bad. I know. Do you hear that sound that I keep hitting?
Yeah.
Johan Rojas, okay. I know he did not hit well in the playoffs, but he still hit over 300 in the regular season and over 100 and somewhat whatever it bats. Okay. And he's a great defender. You have Christian Pache, young player. Yeah, you have Bryson Stott. Yeah, you have guys in the minor leagues, Justin Crawford, Abel, McGarry, Painter, God bless your soul, and get healthy. They're doing the right things with the scouting department. It makes no sense to trade for Mike Trout. I'm comfortable with giving Pache and Johan Rojas shots there in center fielder to platoon. Brandon Marsh, I think, is an everyday player. And Nick Castellanos, no, you're not getting traded. You're staying in right field, put up 20-plus home runs, give you good offensive numbers. It does not make any sense for the Phillies to trade for Mike Trout unless you somehow get a crazy deal where the Angels don't get much in return, but we all know that wouldn't happen. That is my stance on the Mike Trout potential trade and why it would not make sense for the Phillies to go get him. You tell me your opinion, Nick.
See, this is why I love the show, because this is the part of the show where I just totally go the other way. I'm going to read a lineup that one former Philly by the name of Jimmy Rollins, former Phil, put out recently. Just think about this lineup if you're the Phillies, right? Trey Turner at short, Trout batting second in center field, Harper third in right field, Hoskins, you keep him, first base, Castellanos in left, Realmuto at catcher, Schwarber at DH, Bohm at third, Stott at second.
Wait, so
Harper goes back
who's
to
not
right.
there? Who's Harper's in right field? Who's in left field?
Marsh is out.
Marsh is out.
Goes back to left. Castellanos goes back to left.
So Marsh got traded.
Yeah, Marsh is
goes back to LA.
Yeah. This is the lineup that Jimmy Rollins put out just in September.
Yeah, it sounds like an incredible lineup. Go ahead. No. So go ahead. I mean, did you have something to say for yourself?
Yeah, I wanted to add to that. I wanted to add to that.
Go ahead. Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
There's no way the Phillies should not inquire about Mike Trout. There's no way, because of some of the reasons you actually laid out. His value is kind of diminished now a little bit. You don't have to give up a king's ransom to get a Mike Trout now. You'll have to give up some value because he's freaking Mike Trout. right? Hall of Famer, best player of a generation. But he's not the same Mike Trout. He's still really to get this done, right? I trust Dave Dombrowski to get this done. They could give up a couple of prospects. It's fine. You can give up some prospects. The farm system was, Francisco, it's better than it once was. They have the ammo to get this deal done. I'm for it. Imagine Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, Castellanos, Schwarber, all in the same lineup. It is meant to be. He is meant to be a Philly, Francisco. From Millville. He's an Eagles fan. He grew up a Phillies fan. The guy bleeds Philadelphia, man. Why would you not go get him? For the fans. Because he's a great player. He's a great center fielder. He's one of the best to ever do it. And the chance to upgrade your center field position with a guy everybody likes, everyone wants. The guy still hits well. He can still steal bases. He still defends well. I understand the injury concern is there, but you got to take a chance. The Phillies need something else in that lineup. They need it. They need it bad. And I think you got to take a chance, and you're not going to have to give up a king's ransom to go get him either anymore. That's just not where his value's at as much. They're going to get something back. They're going to you're going to have to give up some value to get him, but it'll be worth it because you're trying to win a World Series right now. Next year, you're trying to get back to the promised land and have Red October going to Red November. That's what you need. And Mike Trout is the guy to do it. He is the perfect Philly. He's the essential Philly. He should finish his career with the Phillies. No doubt in my mind, they need to add his bat to this lineup. The injuries are a concern, but the possibilities far outweigh the concern for me here. Give up a McGarry, take McAble, and then some lower level prospects and send them Brandon Marsh. You bring Mike Trout to Philadelphia if you have the opportunity for the right price. Now, you shouldn't give up the entire farm, but you damn well should give up some prospects for freaking Mike Trout. That's where I'm at.
He has averaged 85 games over the last, well, I don't know what 2020. I don't know how you average out 2020.
You can't average.
Played 53 games. It doesn't really make sense. But since he's averaged about 85 games in the last 5 years, I know. And trust me, like if you could guarantee me a Mike Trout that's going to play 130 games plus for the next 5 years, I'm in on Mike Trout.
You think,
but
you're not going to have to give up that much. You're not going to have to give up that much to get him as you once would. If a couple of years ago, you're not giving up that king's ransom anymore.
But I think, honestly, man, there's been a lot of talk about what the Phillies should do with the number 2 spot in the rotation. That's the number 1 priority, by the way.
Right, I agree.
Their offense is still really good without Mike Trout. I still think it's really good. Yeah, they sucked in the last couple of games against the Diamondbacks, and that's unfortunate because that was the biggest reason why they lost that series. But the biggest thing I would rather, if you want to trade some pieces, trade for a Corbin Burns from Milwaukee to have a 2-headed monster with Zach Wheeler and Corbin Burns or something like that. Because if you're not going to go re-sign Aaron Nola or you're not going to sign a Sonny Gray or a Blake Snell, that is the number 1 most important thing for the Phillies if you're going to trade some chips. Otherwise, I would rather keep. You're talking about I would rather keep. Well, so what do you think you would have to give up to get a Mike Trout?
I think you'll have to go up 2 of those prospects. McGarry,
who are we talking?
McGarry, Abel, probably an Abel, a Rojas, and then some lower level prospects.
I want them. I'd rather keep them than Mike Trout.
I'd trade them. I would trade them in a heartbeat. For Mike Trout, because you can go sign a pitcher, go sign one in free agency. Aaron Nola's still out there.
Yeah, that's the route I'd rather go. That's the route I'd rather go.
Trade the pieces to go get the bat, to get the guy you need in the lineup. I think it'd be worth it. It'd be so worth it because they use that money for free agency on a pitcher. Go out in free agency and sign some pitching. You don't need to trade for one. Go get Mike Trout. If you can get Mike Trout on this baseball team, it makes them better. As well as signing pitching, it makes them better.
I mean, to be honest with you, man, if that happened, huh?
I said use those assets for Mike Trout. Go sign someone to pitch.
Yeah, and I still think they have to maybe add another bullpen piece. By the way, it's somebody
Right.
that they need to. Now, I'd rather probably trade for Trout than give Josh Hader 5 years, $120 million.
There you
I'll
go.
say that.
Now we're
But
getting somewhere.
that's about it. I like Johan Rojas has the glove of an Andrew Jones type of glove, my man. He has. I know he wasn't good, but he sucked in the postseason. He was terrible.
Are you saying you'd rather have Johan Rojas over Mike Trout? Is that what you're telling me?
I would rather have the names that you mentioned, like the multitude of names.
You would rather have Johan Rojas over Mike Trout.
To go through names if you would give me a second. Man. Anyway, Johan Rojas, Griffin McGarry, Mick Abel, Andrew Painter, all these guys. Phillies, they never develop pitchers. I want to see these guys develop and be in this rotation for years to come. I want to see those guys. I want to see Justin Crawford eventually get to the big leagues. I want to see Carlos De La Cruz, Ellie's big brother. He's not. He's no relation probably. But I want to see these guys get to the big leagues. I don't want to look. Trout could stay in LA. He keep getting hurt. That's mean. I'm not going to say keep getting hurt. That was mean. I don't mean for him to get hurt. I don't want him to get hurt. I'm just saying I don't think he'll be able to stay healthy because that's the way his career has been going. But, I hope he does stay healthy for years to come. I would rather the Phillies. I'm sounding like I know. It's
like me. I always want to see guys. I always want to see guys develop.
Anyway, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for the Phillies to trade for Mike Trout. It does not make sense for the Angels, but not the Phillies.
What is the Phillies window? Is the Phillies window to win a World Series right now?
Absolutely.
Then give up the prospects.
But you can do what
to win. You don't have to give every single. You're not giving up every single prospect to get Mike Trout. You're giving up a couple of them. That's why they're there. They're prospects. They're unfinished. You don't know what they're going to be. You have no idea. Mike Trout, we know. We're going to take a chance and say, hey, this guy's been an MVP before. We'll take him. We'll take him and take that chance that maybe he gets hurt. I'd rather take that chance and give up some prospects that could be nothing. It could be totally off base and falter. You have no idea. You have no idea with the prospects. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear having Johan Rojas over Mike Trout. It's bananas. It's bananas, Francisco.
Let's go through. I would love to do this real quick because I want to get to the next topic.
Yeah.
Let's go through a lot of these teams that have won World Series in the last 10 years. They don't need to make these moves, man.
Texas made those moves. Texas made those moves. They went out, got Corey. They went out and got the big names.
Yeah, they get the big money.
And they won a World Series. They won a World Series.
I hear you.
I
think they got a little. To be honest, the Raiders were deserving, but there wasn't a year where you had like the Astros were weird this year. Like the Orioles weren't ready. The Rays are probably not really, really for real. Like, I don't know. The Yankees had a bad year. The Red Sox are weird. And then they had to face the Diamondbacks in the World Series. The Phillies should have got it done. It was a weird year for baseball. Let's be honest. It was a weird year. I know what you're saying. A lot of things went the Rangers' way, though. A lot of things went the Rangers' way, and I get that's what has to happen. But look at a lot of these teams that win in the past, man. Like, they don't need to make these big moves. Like, the Astros didn't need to make these big moves last year. They got Trey Mancini at the deadline. I forget who else they got. The Braves, they made moves for like Eddie Rosario and Jorge Soler at the deadline a couple of years ago. They're not trading for big-time big time players. They don't, these teams, they don't need to do that. The Nationals a couple of years ago, I know whatever. I hate that Nationals team actually, but you don't need to. The Phillies can keep this young crop of players and keep the offense the way it is right now. I like it. Go get a number 2. That is your priority. Go get bullpen piece. Look, I don't want to get too into it because I don't want to make this a Phillies show, but at the end of the day, it makes sense for the Angels, doesn't make sense for the Phillies. That's the point.
It makes sense for both sides. It makes total sense for both sides. It makes sense for the Angels trying to get young. The Phillies, their window is right now. You go put the best team on the field right this second because their window is going to start closing soon. And they'll still have prospects. You're still going to be able to draft and develop players. Not everyone has to be a first-round pick to be good. You develop other players. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, obviously, that felt good because we've been agreeing way too much.
We're back, baby. We're back.
We're back. Anyway, Yoshinibu Yamamoto is officially, I think he's officially on the signing block, right? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, signing block. He'll be eligible to sign. He'll be eligible to sign Tuesday.
All right, tell me, where is he going to sign, Nick? Where is he going? It's an interesting. I have an interesting one, but I'd like to hear your thoughts first.
So I've seen. I know John Heyman put out in the New York Post that he might prefer a team on the West Coast. That might mean Giants, Padres, Dodgers. But I've also heard Yankees, Phillies, Mets, Red Sox. Like I've heard both the big coast teams. Oh man, this one's dude. Like he's 25 years old. The guy is ridiculous. Tuesday he's expected to start. He was 70-29 in Japanese baseball. He was 16-6 last year, 1.21. Listen, this is he's going to go to one of the big name teams. I'm going to say, I don't know why. I feel like the Red Sox are going to be a team he really considers. I know the West Coast thing that Heyman put out, very possible. I'm going to go Red Sox. I think Red Sox could be an interesting spot for him. I have this weird feeling the Red Sox are going to be sneaky players this offseason on some big names, and I think that could be one of them.
It makes sense. It makes sense. They got Masataka Yoshida last offseason, right? It was last offseason? Yeah.
Yeah, it was last offseason, yeah.
You know, you go back to Daisuke Matsuzaka in the late 2000s. They got him.
Yeah.
There have been some guys there. I'm not mad at your pick. I'm not going to sit here and argue about this, like the Mike Trout thing. Like, you know, I don't need to do that. The one that makes most sense to me, and maybe, did you hear that? That was a disgusting burp. Did you hear that? Or no?
Yeah, I did. I pretended not to, but I did.
No, it's okay. We might have to dump that.
I'm not going in that. I'm leaving it in. Leave it in.
Do we have a dump button? That would be dope if we did.
Not on here.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be hilarious.
Not on
well, we need to add one. That'd be funny. Anytime you say a stupid, anytime you have a dumb take, I just dump it.
I mean, I could mute you. Like I'll mute you right now. Like Francisco's muted right now, and like he could try and talk, and no one will hear him. I could just continue to talk. I'll unmute him. He's back.
Yes, he's back.
That's what I can do. That's our dump button. I should do that more. I have the
I should have gave you that idea. That's whack. Do I have the ability to do that? Do I have the ability? Oh yeah, you can't hear. He can't hear you. Yeah, you can't. Yeah. Sit there and smile. He's laughing now. Yeah, nobody can hear you now, bro. That's what you get. I'm gonna unmute you. Don't worry.
It's crazy. Oh. All right, I already unmuted myself.
Oh, you can do that. Can I unmute myself?
Unmuted myself.
All right, let's get back on track here. Let's get back on track.
We're going way off track.
Yeah, that's okay. It's Friday night. So I think I mentioned this last week's show. Maybe I'm wrong. I think the New York Mets make the most sense. They have young guys to build around, but Brett Beatty, Matt Vientos, Francisco Alvarez. They got Lindor there still. They've got some young players. They've got some players in their primes. I don't know what they're doing with Pete Alonso. I have not seen any late reports on him. You still got Jeff McNeil there, who Mets fans don't love. He's been kind of an inconsistent player there. But regardless, the Mets still have a good crop there. And now they have Kodai Senga, who will also come to mind here because he came from Japan last year, a little older, but very good pitcher. He could, like I said, could have won Rookie of the Year if it wasn't for Corbin Carroll. He probably does. I just think it makes the most sense because I don't think the Mets are trying to rebuild necessarily, but they're trying to build something here. And the Mets are big money spenders. And I think the Senga thing kind of gives them extra motivation. Another Japanese pitcher out there works out with Senga. And then Yamamoto being 25 kind of fits in nicely with that young crop with the guys I mentioned, like Alvarez, Vientos, Beatty. some of these guys might not be ready yet, but you get my point.
Right.
I just think it makes sense. And he fits right in there with Senga, right at the top of that rotation, assuming that he's going to be good right away. You know, the guy was already winning like MVPs and Cy Youngs in Japan this year. I think he might have done it in back-to-back years. I could be wrong on that. But regardless, we all know he's one of the best pitchers over there. So, and these guys, a lot of these guys have good track records, with the most recent being Senga and Yoshida and Seiya Suzuki as well. So I think it makes the most sense. I think there are other teams that could be in play that do need a pitcher, but I think right now, for me, the way I look at it, the Mets make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a landing spot. He's going to go to one of those teams with a lot of money to spend on one of the coasts. I think for sure. I don't know. How much do you read into that West Coast thing? I think that could be a possibility to one of those teams, if that's a real concern for him, to be closer to Japan with a flight from the West Coast to get over there. We'll see. I think we'll see how much that factors into his decision. But hey, one of those teams on the East Coast, the Mets, we both picked East Coast teams. Red Sox, they come with a large check and could change his mind really quick, I would assume.
Yep. Okay. All right. Let's close it out. The clock is ticking, and the clock is losing a couple of seconds on the pitch clock in Major League Baseball. We are going from 20 to 18 seconds with runners on base. It would still say 15 if there are no runners on base. Nick, you side there a little bit. What are your thoughts on this?
It's just they're considering as a proposal to the committee to vote on this, the competition committee. I was looking at, I think ESPN had a article on the time. So the average game time in April was 2 hours and 37 minutes. In May was 2 hours and 39 minutes. In June, 2 hours 40 minutes. July, 2 hours 41 minutes. 2 hours and 44 minutes in September. So it continuously went up. So what? So what? Stop. Just stop. For my estimation, you may want to add 2 seconds. No, don't touch it. It's fine. The season went pretty well, in my opinion, with the clock. Because it went up 7 minutes, they're in a bind. Relax. Just at Major League Baseball, relax. It's been 1 year. 1 year. Relax. Get over it. Do not start. This is the problem. They're just going to continue to try and mess with things and tinker. You're never going to get real data and real value if you only go one season with it. Leave it at 20 seconds. It's fine. The pitchers were already complaining about 20 seconds. You really want them to start complaining when it goes down to 18? Seriously? No, it's ridiculous. But leave it at 20. It's fine where it's at. Don't touch it. Don't touch it, at least for a couple of seasons, so you can understand where the game's at and let these pitchers get in a groove with it. It's been 1 year. Let them get in a groove. Don't tinker with it anymore. You're already tinkering with the game enough. Leave it. Leave it for a couple of seasons where it's at. Don't go changing and taking time off. No. Don't do this, Major League Baseball. Do not do it. The pitchers are already having some trouble getting used to it already. Why cause more aggravation than there already is?
Yeah, I mean, especially you kind of talked about the pitchers there. I mean, the hitters too. I mean, the players in general.
Yeah.
To adjust to it. My thing is, you want to make a change after 1 year? We're not doing that, man. You got to give it at least a couple of years if we really want to consider this. Give these players to adjust to. I think 15 and 20 is fine. 15 with no runners on base, 20 with runners on base. There's no problem.
No problem.
Keep it. You know what I'm saying? Keep it. You don't want no problems. Want no problems with me, like Chance the Rapper said. All right.
Yeah.
So Francisco said.
Problems with me.
I think we could play the song, but I think we'd get copyright, I believe.
Yeah, let's not. I'm not getting copyrighted today. Not today. Maybe another day.
I mean, I think, you know what, though? I could play a 5-second snippet. I could. Hold on. I'm about to do it.
It's fine.
You want me to?
We're gonna get copyrighted. We're gonna get copyrighted. We're gonna get copyrighted.
All right, fine. You don't want no problems with me. Fire. Classic.
What a show today. What a show.
I think 2 Chainz on that song, Lil Wayne. Yeah, it's classic. This is a classic episode. This is a classic.
I'd say this is a classic.
This is the archives.
The archive episode. This is like, whoa, what happened there? Oh my god.
Yeah. What happened to those guys?
Well, what were they on that night? It was a Friday night. That's why. Oh,
we're being nerds tonight, bro. We're not doing much. My car broke down. We had I'm
watching Netflix and going to bed.
Netflix and chill with Drip Bayless. Who are you inviting over tonight? Who are you inviting over? Who's a lucky lady?
Me and my pillow.
Okay.
And my sleeping pills. How about that?
Oh Jesus! Watch it, sir. You crazy mother. You know what?
Hey,
we don't crush this show.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we try our best. I feel like one of these nights I'm gonna let it fly because like, does it really matter? Probably not.
And I'm just gonna have to mute. Just gonna have to mute them.
Fuck you! Oh, did it say? Oh no! Dump it!
I tried dumping it. It got through.
Damn it! I didn't say it. I think we got to end the show, bro. That's it. Yo, follow us. Follow us on social media. Do it before I curse again. Oh my god, do it again. Oh.